Hi, I'm Dr. Alice Kim. My area of expertise is in human memory and the brain, and my research is focused on how we can learn more effectively. Today, I'd like to share 3 scientific discoveries that are essential to help employees remember key pieces of information so that they'll be more likely to apply it on the job. The first discovery is called the spacing effect, and it refers to the finding that people remember information better over the long run when the learning takes place across multiple sessions that are distributed or spaced out, as opposed to one long, continuous session. Essentially, this distributed review or repetition of information is the opposite of cramming, which is a popular but ineffective study method. For example, if you have 10 hours to prepare for an exam next week, you're better off spacing out those 10 hours throughout the entire week, as opposed to cramming them all into the night before the exam. And that's because when we review information in a spaced out manner, it helps reinforce the information in memory, which helps us overcome something that scientists call the forgetting curve. The forgetting curve is based on the pioneering work of Hermann Ebbinghaus, a German psychologist. Basically shows us that our rate of forgetting is exponential in nature and that most forgetting occurs relatively soon after the memory is formed. The second discovery is called the testing effect, and it corresponds to retrieval practice, the act of retrieving information from memory. The testing effect refers to the finding that when we actively retrieve information from memory, long-term retention of that information is enhanced. Going back to the example of preparing for an exam, in those 10 hours you have to prepare for an upcoming exam, once you can recall the material from memory, you're better off quizzing yourself instead of engaging in more passive strategies like rereading and highlighting. The third discovery, stemming from confidence-based learning, tells us that both knowledge and confidence in that knowledge are critical for people to act quickly, confidently, and reliably in any situation, including on the job. In addition to providing an answer to a question, confidence-based learning requires the learner to reflect on their answer by asking them to assess how confident they are in the accuracy of their response. This means that on top of assessing whether their answer is correct, we can also measure how confident they are in their answer. Why is that important? Well, past research suggests that when accuracy and confidence are both included as part of the assessment measure, there's a higher correlation to the quality of employees' later performance. Going a bit further, Hunt and colleagues, for example, showed that when individuals are confident or certain of their answer, they retained 91% of that particular piece of information 1 week later. In contrast, the same individuals only retained 25% of the information when they were not confident in their answer. In the context of the workplace, employees who are both confident and correct in their answers take positive actions that are productive and effective. The reverse is true for employees who are confident but incorrect. I'll give you an example to help illustrate. Imagine a situation where split-second decisions are critical, say for instance hitting a patch of ice while driving. To get yourself out of a slide, you have to move your foot off the gas pedal, refrain from hitting the brakes, and steer into the direction of the skid to regain control of the vehicle. These decisions must be made instinctively and simultaneously. And if confidence is low, there will be hesitation, which could potentially mean a reaction that's either too late or incorrect, resulting in an accident. Along these lines, everyone has to make decisions multiple times per day while on the job, whether it's regarding what to say to a potential customer to make the sale, or how to safely use a ladder to avoid injury. And having the proper know-how and confidence is especially important in emergency situations, like in the case of an active shooter scenario. Today, progressive organizations are turning to adaptive micro-learning powered by learning science to automatically tailor knowledge delivery to meet the needs of individual employees and their knowledge gaps. The result is a dramatic impact on organizations' ability to achieve business results, whether that's to improve customer service, increase dollars per transaction in sales, drive productivity, or reduce preventable safety incidents or shrink rates. Axonify is at the forefront of a revolution in workplace learning that's grounded in science and focused on helping organizations build high-performing employees.